especially morose edition of Steelers Today. He's Eddie Provident. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. We are at the top of the southwest rotunda of
Acrisure Stadium.
Acrisure Stadium. With the
Never going to get used to it.
ugly signs. Like, what were they thinking? I had no problem with the name. The signs are brutal.
I was out last night and my wife called them lick 'em stick 'em signs.
Yeah, they're just like this just black and white stripe.
Yeah.
Anyway, the only thing worse than the signs, or uglier than the signs, was Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. I felt like a lone wolf last week in Cincinnati, bringing it up and saying this is a lot more on the quarterback than it was on the offensive line, which everybody wanted to blame, and Matt Canada, which I'm always happy to blame. But to me, this is a quarterback issue.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, even when he had time, he just seemed antsy. He was checking down pretty much every chance he had. It was almost like he wanted to check down every play. Even when Pickens was open, even when the Freiermuth was open, he checked down. He
He didn't seem to want any part of winning the game. And this is one of those situations, that's not a very good opponent.
No.
Okay, I'm not being, whatever about, I couldn't care less about the New England Patriots in one direction or the other. But that was a game that's sitting there to be had. And not that I'm going to make a habit of comparing guys to Ben Roethlisberger, even at age, 38 like last year. But when the Steelers won games last year, it was games like this because Ben would just figure out a way to do it in the fourth quarter, even if nothing else had happened.
Yeah, and the one that got me was the wheel route to Najee, where I don't know if Najee was the main guy on that play, but he never took his eyes off of Najee. Like, it was just like, I see Najee running, I'm going to keep staring at him. The whole defense knew I was staring at him, and I'm going to throw it to him anyways. And he was blanketed. Whether it was pass interference is a whole nother argument. He just didn't take his eyes off of Najee Harris.
I don't see any comfort level, not with the offense. I'm not even coming up with any kind of excuse or anything like that. I don't see a comfort level with being an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, there's something missing there, and I don't know what it is, but there's something missing.
How do you have this group of wide receivers? And as Mitch himself acknowledged to us afterward, have the latitude to throw to whoever you want to and just say, nah, here, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, I don't know, DK. I honestly don't know. And, last week my inclination was, okay, when you have an offensive line that you're unsure about, maybe you're just antsy back there. But this week, it wasn't the offensive line. He had time to throw the football. He had time to go through his reads. We saw it on the first drive of the second half, the first play. He went through every read and then made the right play to go to Najee Harris.
Right.
So it wasn't a time issue. This is an issue with the quarterback not trusting himself. And I don't know what you do about that.
I'm looking for his stats. They were brutal. Does anybody really want? No, you don't? No,
I don't think they want him. I don't want him. I don't need him.
Wow, that's really mean on your part to not even want to hear his stats. So I'm going to give them to you anyway. It's 21 of 33 for 168 yards, 5.1 yards per attempt.
Dude, you got to get the ball
8
downfield.
yards per completion. I asked Mitch afterward, what's it going to take?
Call concepts to get receivers there. When coverage dictates that, get them the ball within that. Saw a post high, so they usually backers sit in the middle, safety in the middle of the field. So we like our outside matchups. Got really good receivers. We got really good talent across the board. We'd like to attack all areas of the field and get the ball to our playmakers. So we do a little bit better at everything, for sure.
See, Eddie, even there, you were in the room with me.
Yeah.
There's just such an unease.
And it's like, I don't want to say he doesn't care, but it's just
No. I
know he cares,
yeah.
But he comes across as just meh.
I don't think it's meh. Like, I know what you're saying, but somebody else might not. It's that I don't know that he has an answer because there isn't anything authoritative
that's a better way of putting
about his approach. There isn't anything that says, hey, I'm going to win this game.
He's very indecisive right now. I don't think he's sure in himself.
I don't think he's an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, and
I mean, I'm going to be mean here, but listen, let's just say the thing that everybody thinks we're about to say here.
Yeah, it might be time.
Well, it's not literally time. You can't go into Cleveland.
No.
Thursday night. But for anybody who doesn't know, the Steelers get one practice between now and
Can I play
the bus
devil's
ride.
advocate, though?
You can't. Not on this one. Go ahead.
How much worse could it be?
Well, that's not the way to look at it, because if he's legitimately not prepared for the opponent and he's not legitimately prepared for certain situations, then you are putting him into a position.
I get that, and it's a good defense.
We're talking about Kenny Pickett, and we're bringing up Kenny Pickett because it was right around this part of the stadium where the Kenny chants started.
Yeah, that's got to be hard. I mean,
so what?
Man,
there's
just so much.
You're being paid literally millions of dollars. I don't care if he gets his.
Here's my thing. There's so much to be happy about this football game. The offensive line, I thought, didn't play terrible.
The offensive line was fine.
They took a step
forward. By the way, enough about the line.
They took a step forward today. The defense held New England to 17 points.
Yeah, they didn't get much pressure.
They didn't get much pressure, but I mean, you take away the muffed punt.
Yeah,
and the defense played a good football game. Cam Sutton should have had that pick.
The New England offense stinks too.
But
so
there was enough to be happy about with this game that if you have competent quarterback play, you come out of this game with a W.
Yeah, but you're not going to Kenny for Cleveland, and they're not way more important than whatever it is that we think. However, after that, you have yourself a bit of a breather. You have whatever else. By the way, the Browns are actually playing better than a lot of people thought that they would, and now all of a sudden that game looks like
it's going to be a game.
Well, they're going to be underdogs for sure.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Going in. Yeah.
And I don't like anything about this right now. And I'm not. I swear to you, I am not saying, because I don't even believe in this in team sports, that it's all on one player. Everything's on one player.
Not.
Okay, Mitch didn't muff the punt. Mitch wasn't the guy who couldn't put any pressure on Mac Jones.
Right.
Mitch wasn't the defense giving up the runs there at the end to allow New England to kill the clock off.
Yep.
Okay. But you can't go anywhere as a football team without an NFL quarterback. You just can't.
And right now they are lacking that.
They are lacking that.